Okay, I left you in Boise.
Very pregnant, sitting on the third floor, and it was colder than old Billy. You know what? The only heat we had, there was an opening, like an open register. Whatever heat escaped from the first and second floor, we got in the third floor room. Bathroom was just outside and around the corner that we shared with the daughter and her kids and everybody. So it wasn't very amenable to newlyweds and one that was pregnant and trying to. Anyway, but we existed. I don't remember where we ate. We had cereal in the morning because the milk was. We had to bring the milk in from the window. Kay always had to have a window open, in spite of the fact it was cold in the room. Mm-hmm. He had to have his window open. So we set the milk inside on top of the cooler. Mm-hmm. There no ice in it, but the milk would be cold enough and it didn't spoil. Mm-hmm. And the mayonnaise. That's the only two things that was there. I don't remember where we ate. I really don't. I know that he made a lot of peanut butter sandwiches in the middle of the night because I'd wake up craving them. Mm-hmm. And we were there for a couple of months when he got orders to be separated out. Mm-hmm. He was the commissary officer, so he went in and promptly went through the refrigerator and found out that it was just a nasty mess. And he emptied everything, threw it all in the garbage, whether it was good, bad, or different. Ordered all new food, and ordered up a new menu that probably broke the bank, the budget for the field for the year. Mm-hmm. But they ate well for the 2 months that we were there. Mm-hmm. Then we got a train and went back to Pennsylvania, and the wheels on the train were square. And there were things called clinkers. These are things that come out of the coal that runs the engines. And they're little bitsy things, but you go to comb your hair in the morning and all this stuff will be flying out of your hair. And it was a little upsetting. You know, I kept saying to Corey, are there bugs in here? Mm-hmm. Are there June bugs? You know how they hit stuff and they're hard. I said, what are these things? He said, they're clinkers. Clinkers.
It's alive?
They're called clinkers. It's the residue from the coal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clinkers.
Yeah.
And eyes were all sooty and mouth was all, it was just nasty.
You know what I can't believe? I can't believe that you were, I wouldn't say that Corey was dragging you around, but you had to go all these places. You're pregnant? It just seems like
you do what you do.
You do what you do. Well, he expected you to do a lot of stuff.
But you know what? I still am like that. When he got a bug in his bonnet, I bet he wanted a boat. We had a boat. Mm-hmm. We never could afford these things. We were always in hock.
Yeah.
But I have to say that he made sure that we all had fun.
You had fun. You did. I can tell you had fun. I can tell from
these
pictures.
We did. And all the traveling that we did, which I'm not going to go into now because it's too involved.
Yeah.
But going home, and we lived with the Aspers, and that was my first introduction to a wild voice.
Yeah.
My family were pretty silent, except Flora, when she had me alone.
Yeah.
That's where it was Corey was a screamer, I was a screamer.
Yeah.
Off would go down to the basement because the furnace wasn't working right. Ruth would just sit there, and I don't remember what she was doing. Nana was always, Peggy was always doing something. I was always making baby clothes, and the kids were doing homework. And anyway, he'd go down there, and the wrenches would fly, and the curse words would fly. And pretty soon he'd come upstairs, and he said, "Is the furnace on?" And everybody would ignore all of this. But all this voice came up to the register on the floor. One night, Joan and Bruce were sitting there, and all of a sudden Bruce lets out this yell, and she lighted a match. Bruce smoked at the time, and she wanted those paper matches, and she lighted one and put it between Bruce's toes, and he didn't feel it. Nobody was paying any attention to her.
Did anybody get mad at her?
No, of course not.
Yeah. Okay, so you lived with them for a while,
Yes, and
then you lived next door.
No, we never lived next door there. We did in Pomona, but we never lived.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh,
we
okay.
lived with them.
Right.
And one winter, I got pharyngitis, which is an inflammation
Right.
of the nasty, and I couldn't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have ventilators at the time,
Mm-hmm.
so we had a little hot plate with a pan on it, and we were sleeping in a single bed with the window open and the snow coming out my feet. And Kay would have to get out of bed and go put water in it because when it went dry, I couldn't breathe.
Mm.
I cried that night. I cried for my mother.
Mm.
And then next morning, she called me and she said, "Were you crying for me last night?"
Are you talking about
Flora.
Flora?
And I said, "Yes, I was." She said, "You better come home. I don't think you better live back there." I said, "Mother, I can't breathe." She said, "I didn't think you would be able to."
Oh, she knew?
Well, I don't know how. How did I know where to find Debbie the day she graduated from high school? This is a truism, and Debbie will verify it.
Yeah.
She and I had strong ESP.
Yeah.
Anyway, we left. I'm going to finish this up with Kay.
Okay.
His birthday was January 16th, and this was right after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
We left 2 days after his birthday and moved back to California.
Mm-hmm.
And lived in Victorville for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Then we lived with Mother and Dad, and then we were out in Victorville until the baby was born, and we moved to San Bernardino.
Mm-hmm.
And what was I going to tell you?
Debbie. About finding Debbie? Her high school?
Oh, UCR, University of California
Right.
Riverside, called me day after graduation. They're all senior breakfast signing annuals.
Mm-hmm.
I had no clue in the world where she was. So I picked up the phone to dial Carol Rathman, her friend. And there's nobody there. There's no dial tone. And I looked up at the switchboard, and Gertrude wasn't looking at me. This is at the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, "Mother, is that you?" And I said, "Where are you?" I said, "The phone didn't ring." She said, "No, I didn't dial it yet." I said, "Where are you?" She said, "I'm at Carol's." I went up to Gertrude after. I said, "Did I have an incoming call?" She said, "No." She said, "Your line is open."
Wow.
Anyway, so we went to UCR
I
with her report
actually know
card.
what you're talking about because I had that with Laura. The phone will ring and I'll pick it up and I'll know that it's Laura.
I knew it was Lonnie
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's her.
Funny. Okay.
But
sorry.
Debbie asked me, "Please, do not carry on with the ESP." I said, "How in the hell do you stop it?"
Mm-hmm.
Sandy, it's taken me years not to be tied into her. She said, "You're invading my privacy. You're invading my privacy." So I try not to, and I don't deliberately do it with Lonnie. I just, we don't know anything about what's out there, but there's a lot of things out there
Yeah.
that are beyond us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's pretty much my life, and there's lots in between. There's, Corey and this going to college, and me work at North American, and Peggy living with us, and then Peggy not living with us, and moving to Vallejo and moving back, and it was a lot.
It was a lot of fun during that time.
Oh, and our retirement was wonderful for the
Yeah.
first few years.
Yeah.
We had that motorhome. We went everywhere.
Yeah.
The little one.
Yeah. Always had a dog.
I always had a dog because I didn't have kids to play with.
Yeah.
I always had a dog.
Always had a dog.
Me and my dog walked to the buttes. We went everywhere together.
Yeah. Maryann, you've had quite a life, really.
I have. I've
Yeah.
been blessed.
We'll talk again about your life. I'll look at your stuff.
No, we just look at my papers.
Okay.
No more talking.
All right.
Because I get too mixed up.
No, you don't. I thought you were remarkable. I couldn't do that. Okay. Bye-bye.